No, I 100% agree with that too. Something that, especially in regards, because we're all content creators here, like there's so many things that you can do in regards to revenue when it comes to, especially fighting games just in general, whether it's, I have a ton of Mortal Kombat friends, because in MK11, they have variations. So, or even just some type of like, oh, like 5 subs to learn a character for a week, or $10 donation for any variation, any character. Like there's so many like little things and innovations that you can do to make money, not even just from playing video games, whether it's on Twitch, on YouTube, TikTok, whatever, even just making content like out of it and earning revenue from that. So absolutely, whether it's tournament, whether it's you competing in a tournament, whether it's you having a paid gig for commentary, getting views from revenue, subs, donations. There's so many different things you can do in regards to fighting games that make it so versatile to earn money from playing.
And I think oh, no, Arya, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry, I just want to say, like, from what I understand, actually being a competitive in a fighting game is a pretty raw deal. Like,
well,
yeah, like anyone who I see making a living off of fighting games is a content creator. You know, that's the only way you can do it, really. Even like for example, just again bringing it back to Tekken, the top players like Arslan Ash has a huge YouTube channel, Knee has an enormous YouTube channel, like JDCR, like, you know, they all have very sort of developed social media presences, and you have to do that. It's not enough to be a top player in fighting games. You know, I think you can in other genres. Just be like really good at games, and you know the prize pools will carry you. But you know, this whole $2 million prize pool might change things. But even that, I don't think there's going to be like a trickle down effect or anything. I think it's sort of mandatory that you be a content creator if you're a pro fighting game player and you want to make a living off of it.
Oh, go ahead, Jammerz.
Is the thing, right? So the $2 million prize pool, $1 million goes to first place. We don't know how the other million's going to be distributed. Now, whoever comes first place, they're going to be all right for a little while. Definitely invest that in something. But I think after that point, I think it could still be decent money depending on how you look at it. But yeah, the social media presence, the content that people are making, that's fine. Because again, going back to the average player just becoming more competitive, listen, it's like a job, or theoretically in your job. It's not exactly how it works in every job. Every year you stay at the company, your salary should go up by default. It should go up. Like, you should get a pay rise. With fighting games, the same thing. As the years go by, you should have accumulated more knowledge, and the average goes up. So the average player now is not the same as the average player 5 years ago. More information has come around. People understand things better. More people have been making content to be able to digest it better. So things have gone up. So I'm excited for SO6 in that regard, because, like, you know, your Joe Schmo might actually, like, beat the crap out of veterans because he says, oh, no, I've been watching for a little while. I just didn't know how to do it. And now he knows how to do it because there's modern controls. But I'll go for it, please.
Sorry, I cannot talk today. Like, I'm drinking like some like caffeine. I'm trying to like be able to talk today. I was just gonna say, and just kind of throw out there, by that time that you are a competitor and say that you are a content creator and you're able to make that revenue and make your money and, you know, be in these exhibitions, win whatever prize money it is that you do, at that point, being a content creator, you are essentially your own brand. And if you're not part of any type of agency or any esports team that actually cares about, you know, getting you to tournaments or paying for your travel or your hotel stay, your food while you travel, stuff like that, like, you are your own brand. So I want to add on to what Arya said. It's not enough to just compete. Like, if you're able to content create or stream or do something else to kind of keep your name out there and keep your name on social media within the FGC, like, it makes a huge difference from just being a competitor Andy within like a bracket to actually have like a brand within your content creation within the fighting game community. Like, there are lots of people who make a living off of it. I mean, it's not sustainable income as you would with a 9 to 5, but I mean, you could write it out. You could, you know, try your best at it.
No,
as long as you stay consistent.
I definitely get that argument. I mean, I think that's just the thing with money these days. You can't just do one or two things anymore. I bet we've all applied for a job where they ask you to do 2 things, and when you get there, you're supposed to do 8. And it's
Yes.
that's a
100%.
that's a very big ask, isn't it? That's not what you said on the job description. And it's like, and it's the same thing. It's like you said, you can't just compete anymore. Now, if you wanted to get sponsored, where's your social media presence? Do advertisements for us? Do X, Y, and Z? And then obviously, brand deals, if there are brand deals. But how it's done these days, again, turn yourself into your own brand and it show you how the real world of work, even when it comes to competitive gaming, it does work. There's a lot of things that go into it to kind of keep you alive. Now, one thing I remember, a TO said this to me ages ago. He said, if there's anybody, I'm going off topic here, if there's anybody I'd sponsor, it'd be a commentator. It wouldn't be a player, because the commentators are seen way more than the players. And it's like, right, there's a chance that you might not get on stream, you might not get into the top 8. And it's like, right. So when you come to talk about your brand, think about it. If you enter the bracket and you don't do as well, guess what? Vlog around the venue, have other videos prepared, do tutorial series, something like that. So the visibility you guys are talking about is very good on point. But then obviously commentators being sponsored, that is another topic entirely. We aren't going to discuss that.
I didn't think of it that way. I'm glad that you brought that up. I did not think of it that way, because you're right. Commentators are shown more on camera.
I've been seen more than any player. Sorry, I've been seen every week of on Capcom Fighters for a show that we do. I get more visibility time than some of the players we had in Street Fighter Europe, because I'm there every week. Some of those players didn't get to play every week. So who do you see more often? And it's like, right. So if you were to sponsor a commentator, I think all your requirements are met. Oh, show off the brand, do a quick advertisement if there's no conflict of interest, like stuff like that. And it's like, oh, with a player, it's like, oh, you didn't make top 8. What happened? Yeah, the bracket was tough. Oh, okay. If you don't get top 8 next time, and remember the competition's gotten much more fierce now, especially all these average players coming, and online tournaments are getting bigger now. So if you don't make a certain threshold, why am I paying you?
Well, it's top 6 now, correct?
Oh, for Evo, yes. Oh, that. Sorry, I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get sidetracked because that's
a whole other kettle of fish.
That's a whole nother can of worms.
I'm going to sound like absolute boomer here, but I feel like a lot of...
Go for it, please.
I feel like a lot of recent fighting games sort of feel like they've been designed on an Excel sheet, you know? And it's like... I feel like something has been lost, you know? Because back in the day, you know, I feel like fighting games were just an expression for how do we express a virtual martial art and how do we have fun with it to make it as zany and entertaining as possible. Now it's all about like, well, how do we balance all these characters so they're all competitively viable? And it's like, yeah.